Ding, 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 ding. Or what's the other one? Meh. Hi, it is August 8th, 2022. This is the Loose Screws podcast, the loosest and screwiest of all Elite Dangerous podcasts. We are recording our first ever Monday night show because that's the night we switched to, because that's when Trek said we should switch to, and he's not here tonight. So, yeah, there's that. We're going to try to do a show. This is for historical reference, the night before whatever this update 13 is and whatever the Proteus Wave thing does. So that's essentially probably all we're going to talk about. We'll try to sneak some other crap in here. But let's start with seeing who's here with me tonight. Let's just go around the horn. Let's start at the bottom with Mr. NL Hate. What is up, my man?
Greetings and salutations. Do you want me to continue?
That's Nurgle's line.
No, I passed it off to him.
Yeah.
Is that how we do things? Who's doing the cheese thing these days?
I can do it. It just won't be very good.
We're going cheese whiz again today.
It doesn't the difference between cheese whiz and easy cheese, so that's not necessarily quite as long as you're eating one of the two, but
hold on.
It's fine.
We're doing.
Is there a difference?
Big difference.
Not particularly. One's pressurized and one isn't.
Yeah, one's more liquidy, the other one's more pasty. I think you could stick papers together in easy cheese. That's weird. All right. Hate said hi. There we go. What's up?
Just another day in paradise.
All right. I make you say more. What have you been doing in real life, ending game, and all that stuff?
Well, this past week had relatives in the hospital, so not a lot going on outside of that.
Okay. Everything going okay with that?
Yes and no. Had my father-in-law, we thought he had a heart attack. Ended up he didn't. He does have a raging infection. He's been in and out of the hospital a couple of times. He's home now and hopefully recovering. And then a friend of ours had a stroke over the weekend, which ironically would have been a fairly minor occurrence if she had gone to the damn hospital instead of saying, "Oh no, I'll be fine."
Oh no.
Yeah, and
it's really important to catch that quick.
Yes, and she was stubborn and she didn't go to the hospital, and she's probably going to have a pretty bad outcome from it. We don't know for sure yet. So listen to your body, people. If you think it's wrong, go to the damn hospital.
All right, that's some.
Now, somebody say something happy and cheerful after my week, please.
Okay. Data, what's up in your world?
Butter cow. There
you go. Butter cow.
What I saw is pig fucker, but
no.
You need help.
Real serious help.
If somebody should come look at these butter sculptures from, where is this? Somewhere in Ohio?
The Ohio State Fair in Columbus
has life-size butter sculptures, like of cows and kids about to molest pigs and all kinds of interesting stuff.
The theme was 4-H kids, and Ohio's a big agricultural state, so it's these kids taking their animals to the fair. Contest. Not
carving butter.
Whatever depraved thing you came up with.
I didn't come up with anything. I saw the pictures. My eyes don't lie.
No, you definitely went there.
Shocking, I know. So
yeah.
Okay. So other than that, what else?
Had an all right week. Yeah, that was sort of on the tail end of a quick little trip the family and I took. The kids go back to school in a couple weeks, so wanted to do something with them one last time. So went up to Columbus for a few days. Took them to a Legoland place inside one of the big malls up there. They love that. Got to do a bunch of Lego stuff all day and took them to there's a big zoo in Columbus that has a water park attached to it. We didn't go to the zoo, but we went to the water park. and they had a lot of fun there. That was
Sweet.
if you've ever heard of Jack Hanna, he's
Yep.
like the founder of that place. He's retired now. Maybe dead. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Wow, you make that morbid too.
So
Jesus,
yeah,
got strokes,
there was a bunch of
and maybe deads.
there was a bunch of controversy around the zoo, like right after he left. Like people like embezzling money. The zoo lost some certification status. I don't know. There was a bunch of controversy with it a few years ago. But the water park was fun.
All right.
And we finished it up with the fair,
What
which
did you
is
do
a
in it?
huge thing. Nothing in Elite. I've been
You're gonna
closely.
at what you've been doing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I've been trying out No Man's Sky on Game Pass for PC.
Radar.
No Mansky.
No Man's Ski. No, it's no trader. I know we joke
No,
about
I
it. But
downloaded
it's
it.
really
That's
like,
Yeah.
yeah. Not even like, I don't know why people try. Well, I guess I know why people try to compare it to Elite because it's set in space. But that's really where the similarities end.
Technically, isn't
Totally.
everything set in space? Because like even the Earth is floating through space. Just saying.
That's true. That's true. So yeah, even fewer important similarities there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm having fun with it. So far, like I say, with about every game that I talk about. If I wasn't having fun, then I wouldn't be playing it and talking about it.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Right on. Right on. Who else is here? Dubs.
Oh, that's me. It's my turn. So I guess
Wait, let's just
decent.
clarify. This is actually Dubs. The other guy was
Yes,
Data, who's just talking now.
I'm
It's
Data or
actually
I'm Dubs.
There are differences between us, similar to how Nomansky and Elite have differences. Hard to see, yet they exist. But
Hard to see. Yet they exist.
but no, I've been all right. Turns out my father-in-law does not need heart surgery, so my wife will be coming home this week. And I've been playing what could be considered an unhealthy amount of Space Engineers. It's actually a good bit of fun. You should try it if you haven't.
Have you been eating
Chig.
cherry pie filling again?
No, I have not been.
Yeah, for those that don't know, the last time, well, was it the last time? I think it's every time Dubs' wife goes out of town and he's stuck trying to feed himself. He eats shit like just a random can of cherry pie filling for dinner and stuff like that.
Hey, we shouldn't give him too much grief over that. He did manage to open the can by himself.
I did. I
Yeah,
didn't
but he
even
used a
have to
pipe
call.
wrench and a screwdriver.
It worked.
He used a gun. He shot it.
Hey,
Yeah.
he got it open without adult supervision, and nobody died in the process. This is clearly a win.
See, there's some positivity there. But other than that, haven't really had a whole lot of stuff going on.
Oh, well, that's
So that about wraps it up for me.
okay. Now we're going to go back to Hate because all he said is hi. Now he can actually tell us what he's been doing.
We were celebrating
Fess.
my daughter's first birthday.
Oh,
I created some confections and I served them to friends and family members.
I don't like these big words. What are confections?
Pasties.
Butter-based.
Sounds dangerous,
things.
I had a lot of fun in the kitchen, and I did a little bit of shopping so that I could have fun in the kitchen. And I made some real good food. My wife helped, my mother-in-law helped, and my father-in-law bankrolled everything, so I'm not even out any money.
Damn, yeah,
Right.
can't beat that.
Yeah.
Well done, sir. Well
Nice.
done.
And then I was swimming, and I'm a little lightly sun toasted, not burnt, just real close to being burnt.
Just toasty.
Yeah.
No perineum tanning.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, no, like that.
More big words.
That can stay in the shade for the rest of forever.
The rest of forever. Right on. All I've done is killed more bugs. Most nights get on with the usual crowd of like Manitouk and Volt. Actually, finally took the shields off his Type 7. I'm proud of him. Real life, just been working. Made a trip down to Mall of America. You were mentioning Legoland at the mall you were at. Mall of America has a pretty big Legoland kind of thing set
Nice.
up there. That's pretty impressive. But I went, get the kid some, school clothes and crap coming up. She's just turned 15 and get
Oh,
ready
God.
for school. So needed to do that. And then I needed some work clothes, and my wife needed some work clothes. So just went down and spent way fucking more money than I want to spend on anything ever. But it was a good time. I got myself some badass plaid pants, so I look like some
Oh,
goofball golfer, and I wear those to work. I've
oh,
never gotten so many compliments on a pair of pants in my life.
oh, God.
So that was fun. I did that. And
All
yeah,
right.
so there's that.
I'm going to say two things that may not sound like they're related, but they are. Number one is plaid pants. I just threw up a little bit in my mouth. And number two is pictures, or it didn't happen.
I'll send you pictures of it. That's they are magnificent, and I am super. I've reached the age, Nurgle. You should acknowledge this. You reach a certain age, and you just wear whatever the fuck you want.
Oh
you
no,
know?
I'm there. I'm completely there. But plaid is never the answer.
I wear funky hats, and I've never tried funky pants to go with funky hats. So now I've got the whole combo going, and the ladies, they like them. I'm telling you, it was pretty fucking amazing.
I promise you they don't.
You were talking to the man who once played a round of golf in cleat flip flops.
What?
Wow.
Wow.
And
That's a
knee-high
thing?
socks. Yeah.
Oh God, and knee-high socks. Yeah,
It was
yeah, so you
20.
understand. Yeah.
It was 20 years ago, but yeah, I did it.
Yeah.
But
Like when you were in your
plaid
late 80s.
Plaid is never the answer. Plaid is bad.
It's not like the traditional green. This is more like a light gray, dark gray, and white kind of plaid pattern. So
It's still plaid.
It's still plaid, but they're fucking awesome. I don't care what anybody says. You can all go to hell if you don't like it. And on that note, bam, we're going to move on to Squadron Update. And I'm wondering, Dubs, are you going to be able to play Bard's thing when we get to that point? Or am I doing the stupid phone thing?
Oh, I didn't think of that. I guess I should probably shut down Space Engineers and get that ready. Let me...
Whatever is going to give our sound engineer the largest heart attack.
Ooh. He's going to regret not being here tonight.
Yeah. All right. So that's a Squadron. Squadron. August. 8th, 2022. 33. 08. There we go. Do it now.
To stop laughing first.
Now.
All right.
Boop.
Focus. All right. We have a unwanted expansion that is going from 6 Andromeda at the moment. We're about 10-ish days out from that completing. We are, by the time this posts tonight with the tick, we will be starting a war for control of KZ Andromeda, which was our target after our most recent expansion. So we'll be in a position to finally take over that system. We are doing a little social engineering in a system we do not control, or we're not even in, called LHS 3980. We're trying to push a faction into control there so we can use them to try to keep control of 6 Andromeda and keep it from randomly expanding in the future. And our friends over in the Brotherhood of Terra Mater are fighting off a Fedneck infestation in the Beldarkri system, which is a really important system for them. And every time a war starts in there, it tends to attract a flock of rednecks because of a federal democracy faction and them being an anarchy. I'm told that system traffic quadrupled there. So that war starts today too. So there's a war going on now that you can fight in if you're interested in that. There's one starting tonight for us that you can fight in if you want to. We've got some BGS stuff going on, and the details for all of that are in the Standing Orders channel and in the Loose Cruise faction channel in the Discord. So if you need some more information, you can go and get it there, or you can hit up me or Hate or any one of the other crew on the Discord and get some information you need.
Sweet. You got any shout outs for people that do a ton of our BGS stuff?
Oh my God. Where do I start?
Yeah, I know you'll forget somebody for sure because, well,
I'm
mainly
going to.
because you're old, but also because there's just, so many, and we always forget like people because
but
we do.
Blooming Wind and Rick Dalton, Manitook, he doesn't actually post a lot of that BGS stuff, but Manitook is always slaving away doing a lot of that stuff. Big shout out to Manitook this week. There were a couple people who, it's not really BGS related, there were a couple people who needed to do their 5,000 light year trip to unlock an engineer, and he piled them all along with some alts and some other people on his carrier and just jumped them out while he stayed back in the bubble and did some other stuff. So cool, man. Thanks for that. That helped a lot of people out. McGeek, Rick Dalton, and I know I am forgetting a whole bunch of people, but
GroverKiwi
Chig put
just
me
made
on the
it back
spot.
to the bubble. And
Yeah.
has questions for us already.
Yep. So to all the people who are really BGS warriors and are doing this day in and day out, thank you very much. And for the people in the crew, and I know there have been a couple of new people who've come in lately who've been asking some great questions and what can I do? And you're trying to learn and figure out what they can do to help or at least not hurt. Thank y'all for what you've been doing too, and keep asking the questions, man. We actually enjoy talking about this. At least some of us do.
Right on. Awesome. Sweet. You have anything to add on any of the faction stuff there? NL Hate
Nope, he covered it.
usually does. If people are bored in this game, go look at our freaking faction standing orders because it's kind of ridiculous what Nurgle puts out each day. Gives people plenty to do. Now we've got Galnet News Digest. If Dubs was ready,
I do believe I'm ready. So
All right.
here goes nothing. If you don't hear anything in 5 seconds, let me know.
You hear the buzz of my AC in the background. It'd be a shame if you can, but if you don't like it, fuck you. Also, join the Discord. Welcome aboard the Tenadium Express. Let's keep a cool head and gonna be a long one. July 28th, Salvation wants to keep dead bodies all for himself. And on July 29th, super weapon construction complete, on time and under budget. On August 2nd, Superpowers doubled down on their double down for their double trouble, Meowth, that's right. On August 4th, equipment for Salvation's body hoarding delivered in full, and super weapon prep in final stages after construction because it's on time and under budget. Anyways, August 5th, media can't form an opinion on Salvation and hits itself in confusion. And as for the CG prediction, shit's on fire, yo. That's all I have for you this week. Have a good one.
outstanding as
I believe
always.
Very nice.
Something
And-
wrong with that man in all the right ways.
Well, there's a lot of shit. I've actually been trying to work on building an app to keep track of all the shit that's wrong with him, but it's proving to be too much work. Well, I don't know. That's a great segue into just a discussion topic. There isn't like anything else to talk about other than what is supposedly happening in game tomorrow. Anybody want to give a recap as to what is happening on top of what our good buddy Bard just said?
Recap or predictions?
Well, I think kind of Azimuth Saga. This has been going on 2 years. This has been going.
Something like that. 18
Yeah.
months, 2 years. Yeah.
And it's now that they've said basically the biggest thing about Update 13 that comes out tomorrow is it's the finale of the Azimuth storyline. So I don't know how I feel about them just saying, this is the finale, everybody, instead of just leaving us guessing and thinking it might continue on. Telling us it's a finale really puts the pressure on them, doesn't it?
It does. And they have not lived up to that pressure in the past.
Yeah.
It's the
so
finale
past-
of the Azimuth saga. I mean, that's one thing.
the past month has been centered around, for those who don't know, centered around the construction of this super weapon where Salvation is using Guardian technology building it into the Thargoid structure on the ground on a planet to draw to. Okay, there's been some confusion on these points. We're not sure how it's supposed to be interpreted. Draw in all the Thargoids to this system, wreck them in some way, and either wreck Thargoids in other systems or just scare them away because of the damage going to be done in this one system. That's the two ways I've seen it generally.
Yeah, initially it sounded like this weapon was supposed to fire and kill all the Thargoids in the galaxy, is what it originally sounded like.
They said almost exactly that.
Yeah, and now it's like, oh, it'll kill these Thargoids and probably scare the other ones away, or something to that effect if you read into it that way.
Every Galnet that has come out since this section started, since the Proteus wave part started, because it started out with the wave's going to propagate across the galaxy and destroy them all, and now it's going to disable all the ones in the system. They have been ratcheting down expectations incrementally with every successive Galnet article.
Yeah. Well, I don't. Let me just put it that people are talking about wanting to be in. All of this action is happening in HIP 22460. No, 480. 22480. I forget now. I don't care. I live there. But that's where I've been killing bugs and all these AXCZs where the swarms don't work. So it's really kind of easy mode bug killing. But I just picture this whole thing. People are talking about wanting to be in that system when this weapon fires tomorrow or, whatever. And I'm more of I can't let my headcanon even have my commander be that stupid. If some guy who gave himself the name Salvation, and I picture him referring to himself in the third person when he talks to anybody, Salvation wants you to finish that weapon and shit like that. But some crazy madman who calls himself Salvation is building a super weapon. His name, a super weapon, gave it a name, the Proteus Wave, and is building it in a Thargoid structure that we know very little about, that's supposed to amplify and change whatever this technology he created is. And it's being powered by Guardian technology, more shit that hardly anybody understands. And people want to be in that system when he fires this. Nah,
Nope.
I'm not going to be there.
Gonna nope right to the other side of the bubble.
Good luck with that.
But what are predictions? What do you guys think is going to happen? Okay.
Yeah, so like what
you think is going to happen, and then what you hope is going to happen,
and like
right around.
And like separate out. Yeah, so I think of it on like two lanes, like the story piece of it. Yeah, like what we've just been talking about. What's actually going to happen with this weapon? What the Galnet article is going to tell us happen, and what we're going to see in the game, and also like what's everyone's assuming there's going to be some new gameplay thing, whether it's a new elements, the most extreme maybe being new Thargoid ships, on foot combat against Thargoids being the biggest stretch, in my opinion. I think people are taking that little promo video of all the commanders on foot emoting at each other inside of Pioneer supplies,
which was pretty cool.
Yeah. It's like, so you want to buy this gun from Pioneer? Okay, well that'll be 5 million credits. How about a salute instead? No.
So what do you think is going to happen?
Oh man, I don't know. My long-standing motto is, I don't think anything's going to happen until it happens with this game. Probably my most cynical take on things is the weapon goes off, maybe it doesn't go off. It gets sabotaged by the Fire God cultists, and all that we have out of this is on foot CZs against humans and their like Fire God cult related.
Oh, gross!
Wow, that's
hideous.
That's even worse than what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's the worst. That's like the worst possible outcome of this, but what I'm also prepared for it to happen.
What do you hope happens?
Something new. Something new. One of those new things I said that everybody's saying.
Okay.
So
your expectations are quite low. You're hoping to be surprised.
Yeah, that's what I've had to teach myself over the past few years.
I'll let the other data go with this. Dubs, what do you think? What do you hope?
That
what
was
do you
Dubs.
think?
That was Dubs.
So, yeah. Sadly, my expectations are down, just like other Dubs or data, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, my expectations are pretty in line with his. Not really expecting a lot. Maybe some on-foot CZs, hopefully, against
But
Thargoids.
they're
We'll shoot
hyping
them
it
in
up
their
so
stupid
much.
face.
That's what's kind of different than.
I mean, it's their
the
job
past.
to hype
I
it up.
know.
Yeah, but
'Cause-
they haven't really hyped things up in the past. Like
You gotta
this.
think, if you're gonna try and make money for your company, you gotta hype it up. And if you know that it's gonna be a fat flop, and you gotta be like, hey, let's get some people on board, get them to spend their money, hype them up right before it happens, and then we'll all just jump off this ship whenever they fucking realize what's going on.
Ugh, that's
I mean,
gross.
I don't know. They might introduce. I mean, it is an update. I don't know how big update 13 is. I don't know what the patch notes are, but
yeah.
who knows? Maybe they'll introduce some more gameplay elements. Maybe they'll give us actual, ground CZ against Thargoids. Maybe something crazy will happen, like the Proteus wave goes off. It's programmed wrong. It wipes out all sentient life in the entire galaxy way or the Milky Way, and they just shut down the servers and call it a day.
Okay.
Oh man, I like the way you said. All right, let's go. Well, I'll go hate now. Well, Willie Nurgle tends to be more optimistic than most of us, so I'll let him go last.
What?
Hope springs eternal. The patch notes aren't available yet. I was looking for them during our pre-show quite hard. I scrounged the internet and I didn't find them. I really hope that we get ship interiors, on-foot Thargoid combat, a new interceptor variant, a new ship, a soft engineering rework so we can engineer Guardian or anti-Xeno weapons and hull reinforcement packages module reinforcement packages and SRVs and fighters. And I hope they fix a whole bunch of the bugs that are in the game and the graphics problem we're having, and introduce some base building on the ground so we can build racetracks. So
Well, you don't ask for much, do you?
He's also
no,
hoping they
Optimus-
relaunch consoles, put VR back in, and cure cancer. All
there's
right.
so much stuff that we could get, and they're working real hard on tempering our expectations. So I really expect that the Thargoids in the system are going to be disabled, and then the next update in a few months will be somehow relevant. And we
So
may
you
have.
really saying tomorrow is going to be nothing?
I think that tomorrow is going to be all story and very little content.
So corn SAR, sort of that same aftermath.
Yeah.
Big fat Galnet article with no
Big
substance.
fat Gildat article.
Yeah, but you wouldn't need to time that with a patch.
2-minute YouTube video.
Yeah, that's what they have to have some kind of cinematic, don't they?
No.
Do they have
to?
Should they or will they? Because those are two completely different answers.
I believe they have to. At bare minimum.
What in your past experience with them leads you to believe?
But they're telling everyone to be there, so that's might mean something too. I don't know.
How could you show something game? I mean,
that's
system is so big.
And that's the thing with this game. It's never something like dynamic happening one time. There's set pieces that just appear overnight and repeat.
And that's why, like, if the weapon goes off and blows up the planet, you have a cinematic to it, and you can go visit that thing that happened. That would be enough to, I don't know, at least
blow up the whole planet.
Well, yeah, that's a possibility. But I'll let Nurgle go before I give my thoughts.
All right. What I think is going to happen and what I want to happen. So I think we're going to get a lengthy and well-written Galnet article, possibly with some POIs and some voiceover. And the weapon is going to go off. It's going to disable all the Thargoids in the system, and it's going to be a giant wah-wah. What I want to happen is, yes, with all the hype and the build-up, they've got to have some type of cinematic something. I just have no faith that they've even thought that far ahead and that they're going to do that. Please, FDev, surprise me. And then I really think what I really want to happen is for the weapon to go off, because they have said in some of these Galnet articles that they're tying it into the Thargoid structure so it'll propagate across the galaxy. And I want this giant pulse of Thargoid energy to go out across the galaxy, and then in hundreds of known and previously unknown Guardian sites, an AI wakes up, sensing the energy signature of its ancient enemy, and goes on an effing rampage. I want homicidal Guardian AI unleashed on the universe. Now, and I'll say I have absolutely no hope that that's actually going to happen, because I don't think FDev thinks that way. And I hate to be that negative about it, but they've built up so many things in the past only for there to be a giant flat tire sound when they go to release it.
Yeah. I've always wanted to do the, role play where I won't put any Guardian tech in any of my ships because Guardian AI is what destroyed their whole society. So having that tech commission, I should be paranoid and afraid of it. But an extra 10 light year jump range and DOS cannons that kill Thargoids, I'm going to take the tech.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm telling you, if I'm wrong and they have some great cinematic and it's something, some incredible story beat, and also next Monday night I'll be sitting here telling you, man, I was wrong and I'm so glad I was. But I don't have high hopes.
Yeah, I think it's another moment where they have an opportunity to really, breathe some life in this game if they do it right.
Yep, agree completely.
Again, I just have a feeling. I mean, my expectation is I think there'll be a brief cinematic, some quick video that we'll get showing this weapon firing, and it wipes out the Thargoids in this system, and then Thargoids are in full retreat, and then down the line, Thargoids come back, blah blah blah. But I don't see that as a finale to this storyline. Really, there's got to be something. There's got to be a new story if you're finishing this story. So this whole pulse has to be a segue into something else.
Well, didn't they say that the fall patch in November is going to be
A major
story narrative? So maybe that's picking up the new storyline.
But that would be this would have to be the springboard to that, in my opinion. You'd have to have something, because I mean, we for a finale we need to get some kind of answers, unless it's like the Lost series back in the day where that show ended just fucking stupid. But I won't go off on that tirade.
Yeah.
Well, maybe this is the end of the Azimuth storyline, not the end of the Thargoid storyline.
Well, Azimuth storyline isn't real. Azimuth to me is the whole fact that scientists were working on this Thargoid tech and shit, and they found something on a planet at one point. It was all this buildup and all this secret shit in the background. And, more recently, it was then the Salvation guy who's been working on this shit for all these years. So, that's kind of the Azimuth kind of storyline, is the shady shit that we humans have been doing with this tech, and what do we really know about Thargoids and all of that. So you need some kind of answers for it to be a finale. Do I think we're going to get ground Thargoids out of this? That's a possibility as the story transitions into actually, a legitimate Thargoid war. They're calling it the second Thargoid war, but it really isn't. Doesn't feel like it to me. But I mean, what if this wave goes off and, we're at a Thargoid structure and that opens a gateway to,
Thargoidia.
the Thargoid homeworld. So that's how the ground units start coming in, as they start flooding in through every Guardian structure we know of. And that's how they end up in our system. And that's how they end up maybe attacking, ground installations. And that's how we get ground Thargoid stuff out of it. I don't know. That is massive wishful thinking. And then again, I don't give a shit about any of the ground stuff in this game. I played the game to fly my ship. So what I really hope is this wave mutates existing Thargoid interceptors, so we have a new way to fight them, or calls in the other, supposed tribe of Thargoids. They come in and they've got different Thargoid ships with different abilities and anything that encourages us to work together to fight them. That's my hope, not my expectation. So, and I am going to now acknowledge the fact that Itai Worsham just appeared in the wild at the bottom of the channel and heard just the very end of my spiel there. And I'm just going to put you right on the spot, man. On all of us, you're press it back, take your turn. What do you think is going to happen? And what do you hope is going to happen?
All right. So first of all, let me apologize for being late because I had work this evening and ran long. So Monday nights are our maintenance night once a month. So that's going to happen. So, okay. So what do I hope? Well, okay. What do I think is going to happen? What I think is going to happen is that this is going to be Gnosis 2.0. Is that it's going to be a great big server clusterfuck, and it's just going to crash a bunch of things, and it's not going to work the way they planned it because they don't realize that there's a bunch of people who want to see the things that they do, and they don't instance them off, and their multiplayer stuff doesn't actually work properly anyway, and all the things.
Yep.
That's what I think will happen. What I hope that happens, I hope I'm 100% wrong. I hope that every single prediction that we've laid out tonight, which I haven't heard any of them, but the very tail end of Chig's, I hope that every single prediction of what everybody thinks is going to happen is completely wrong, and they go way left and do something awesome.
You are not alone in that.
Said.
Yes.
For me, I really hope that they do something insane, and they're like, I think it'd be awesome if they had some sort of portal opened up, and we are able to fly through it and go to some sort of truly alien-looking environment,
like a planet in which space?
Yeah, or like a whole system or a group of systems. I don't know how it would look, but just something completely alien-looking, and like they really ramp it up, and that's what I hope. And I hope it actually executes perfectly, and they don't have any kind of server problems or crashes like they've done on every single event they've ever done. So,
but does it give you any hope that that's the case, that this might be better than the past because they actually moved this up a week from the original release date they said?
No, and here's the reason why is because they've given me zero hope in the way that they develop this game. They continuously make really bad decisions. They continuously make poor judgment on things. We really thought that we were going to see something interesting happen whenever we go through the first round of our first or second round of updates without them having to worry about console stuff, and then able to focus on PC stuff. And we kind of got the same rounds of broken stuff. They planned out this great big whole event that centered around them doing really cool things with the Thargoids, and them introducing a new way to fight them and a new way to interact with them with the CZs and stuff. And last time I checked, they're still broke as shit, are they not? Because they put made it to where the capital ship can interact and kill these things, but then you get screwed out of all your money and bonuses.
Yeah, but we've figured out how to work around that. It's
great.
Have to work around it.
Work around, yeah.
So now we have to figure out a way to work around their broken whatever they're going to do with this thing tomorrow.
Yeah, well,
it's going to be broke as shit.
There's been some new weird bugs just this week I've been experiencing out fighting Thargoids, which has been weird. I mean, the weird teleporting bug thing, that's typically normal. But I had one time where I had a repair limpet on and I was healing up and I wasn't near anything. And all of a sudden my health went back down 50. I healed up like 4%. I went back to 50% health with nothing attacking me, no issues or anything. It was just completely random. Had never seen something like that happen. And a lot of the de-syncing in some of these things, there's like 6 of us in an instance. We're all fighting. And I see everybody else's lasers all shooting off into space, like they're shooting at something, but their lasers aren't hitting anything. and I'm shooting the Thargoid by myself, a kilometer away from it. It's like, desyncing like that. It's just so freaking weird. So I hope you're wrong, but I know you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, I sincerely hope I'm wrong. I hope they completely surprise us and they release something that's really neat and they do something really cool and they have zero problems. But I'm a realist, and considering the fact we have zero evidence to show that they've done anything to improve their process or testing phases, they've done nothing to improve they have a whole player base that wants to play their game and they refuse to let us beta test anything. Even a small group of people, they could let beta test things for them, and they don't. So it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. The fact that they gave themselves a target date a week further out than they are releasing it, tomorrow, gives me some hope, because if they were still having a lot of issues and stuff with this patch, they would have gladly taken another week to work on it and try to iron some stuff out.
I mean, okay, from the point of view of maybe they found some internal stuff and they're going to work on that. Great, but have they done anything at all to realistically address the multiple multiplayer problems that we've been talking about for 7 years now, or for 3 years, that we've been talking about for 3 years, that the community's been talking about for 7 years? Have they redone anything that would show that they're not going to have the Gnosis calamity that they introduced because they had too many people in one little area? I mean, they have nothing that shows us that. So I have no reason to expect anything less than that out of them.
And I'm going to take the opposite approach, because we need some positivity in this world. From where Odyssey wasn't launched to where it is now, it's 100
fine.
times the game it
Yeah.
was. Yeah,
No
it's
doubt.
a fully functional game now.
I'll give you that. From where it was to what it is now, it is a functional game that has a number of bugs that are still outstanding since the game launched. And we still have the infamous we're not going to use your video cards to maximum capability problem.
That should be in the fix tomorrow, as well as CQC being fixed tomorrow, so I can go murder you all and see again.
Nah.
We hope.
Well,
We hope.
I hope. But yeah, I guess I said that with positivity, but if you were to be bunting with me lately, you would hear just how much I cuss at the little bugs in this game. But a lot of those you only see if you're doing certain things. If you're like newer players, probably don't experience a ton of the bugs that my God, somebody gave it end game. Now I'm not even going to come up with it. Somebody made a great term as when we were bug hunting about people who play the game way too much. The problems that they see compared to people who don't play as much, and that's a big part of it, is just the sheer amount that I play this game. I'm going to run into every freaking bug more than your average player.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you have almost 5 hours in this game.
Yeah, well, no, I've got more than 5 hours. Definitely more than 5 hours.
Okay.
Not quite 5.5 hours.
No, I'm not going to lie. I've got more than 5.5 hours. You can't.
You're sure about that?
Yes, I'm positive.
At least 5.5.
At least 5.5. Yes.
All right.
Yep. It's the truth. I got a lot of stuff done. I mean, people complain about the engineering grind. I completed all of that, and definitely just over 5.5 hours, or more than 5.5 hours.
you don't want to hear my opinion about the engineering grind.
Sure, we do. Go for it. We need some filler before the show.
I've said it many times before. I like grindy. I like grindy stuff. I don't mind. Okay. Anything. I mean, okay. I'm trying to think how to put it. Anything worth having is worth working for. So if you give me a goal and you give me a path, I don't care if it takes me 6 years, I will grind it out and do it. It doesn't bother me.
You've
Now,
met
there's
me, right?
Now there's certain things I'm like, I just don't want to put the effort to do. A good example is like the arena stuff. Once I kind of got into it, it's just not really my thing. I enjoy it, but it's just not really my thing. It's just not my favorite thing to do. That's fine. But
You're dead.
I know. But once I made the decisions to start grinding up elite, it's like, okay, here's the goal, here's the path, go do it. And I did it. And here's the engineering stuff. Here's the goal, here's the path, go do it. What drives me crazy are RNG shit. It's like, you can do something, and it's like the very first iteration, like I never messed with the very first iteration of engineering, because once I found out, I say I'd never messed with it, it's not entirely true, but once I realized that it's random, I'm like, I'm out. Number one, I have the worst luck out of any player of any game ever.
Every gamer ever.
I have played World of Warcraft for 18 years, which is very much based around luck drops.
Yeah.
And I can attest, I have video evidence. If anybody wants to see, I will show you of the ridiculous luck I have out of video games. It's because that's the perfect example. It's across any game. It's across any game I've ever played. It's like, oh, well, you might be able to get this right here to drop, or it might, if you kill it 10 times, you'll get 2 of them. Nope, I'll get 0. I'll have to kill it 20 times to get 1. Well, that's it's kind of one of those things that kind of irritate me about the current about engineering as the whole. It's like there is a random component that it drives me crazy, and I don't like random shit. I like, go kill this thing, go destroy this thing, it drops this, pick it up, put it in here, do it 500 times, you get it.
The grind loop for the on-foot data stuff specifically is just maddening with how rare it is and how boring it is.
Yep.
Running into a building and looking at a computer and an iPad.
Cindy, what you said about the grind ties, I agree with that. I have no problem grinding or something. It's when you need to grind it again that makes it dumb. That's what I hate about the engineering and elite is almost all of this shit should be unlocks. Then you can buy the engineered modules after the fact, because it's asinine. You need to do it again and again.
You grind for the unlock, not for the item.
Yep.
Yes. Or you're grinding one thing to do what you really want to do. I hate that I have to fly out to the Guardian sites to gather mats if I want to be able to kill Hydras solo in other ships. I can't just practice that, because you cannot kill a Hydra without synthing ammunition, which requires Guardian mats. It's so annoying.
If there's one thing I really wish that they would change about engineering, like the number one thing I want them to change is, don't let me engineer the module, let me engineer the slot. Now, I know
that's an interesting idea. I like that.
It is an interesting idea.
So the actual effects of the actual effects of engineering we have to change a little bit. But basically, you engineer the guns port or the slot, and then when you put your shard cannon there, it affects it this way. When you put your multi cannon there, it affects it this way. And the effects are kind of similar, but it changes a little bit depending on the weapon.
Thinking it through again, I don't know if that sounded like a really cool idea to begin with.
I don't know if that works for weapons, but it absolutely works for internals.
Not necessarily, because there's certain things you engineer a certain way, for like bug hunting as opposed to another type of thing. And would you overwrite when you do stuff? The way you just said it with weapons was that you could have different effects in there for different weapons. Why not just have the weapons effect? If it's on the weapon, then you could put that weapon on another ship.
Yeah, but then you only have to engineer that slot once, as they have to have 50 weapons.
Or they could just let us do loadouts like you can with your own foot equipment.
Loadouts, yep, that would solve it right there.
Yeah, I'm actually pro loadouts as well.
Yeah, it would be so much easier. Oh my god. But for some reason, they only let us store 200 modules.
Hey, in their defense, they did just give us like 50 more of those. So,
It went from 120 to 200. Big fucking deal. I can have what? how many ships at each station in the galaxy with whatever weapons I want on it, but I can only store 200 modules? How does that make sense?
Listen, we're also talking about a video game in which I have to have a ship on my fleet carrier to be able to move fuel from the storage container that's on the fleet carrier to the ship and then back onto the fleet carrier just to refill the fucking thing.
To step that up even one more notch is a guy like Manituk. What a lot of guys in our squadron have been doing is they're using their old epic alts as their fuel hose character so that they can move their carrier around without having to be on the carrier. So, you've got your epic alt sitting on your carrier. He can use your fuel hose type 9 to move that fuel for you. You don't have to be on the carrier to do it.
Oh, that's actually kind of smart.
Yeah, it is.
It's very smart, but literally you need another account in order to move your carrier remotely if you're going to use more than one tank of fuel.
Don't forget, they still owe us a companion app for my phone so that I can jump my fucking carrier.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
And if we're wish listing, I still want the module on my carrier that can do all of the experimental effects. I'll pay 100 million a week. Swear to God, 100 million a week to have that module on my carrier.
That'd be pretty
that'd
sweet.
be nice. That'd be pretty sweet.
Do all engineering from the carrier, not have to go to the fucking ground.
Yep, use all my pins. Now, if I'm doing something obscure where I got to go to an engineer, so be it. But let me, all my basic pins, I can engineer just about any ship. But then my OCD, I can't fly that ship without the experimentals. And I'm flying over all over the fucking galaxy to get my experimentals.
Yeah, or how about this? How about you make it to where I don't have to fly 25,000 light years just to be able to get the maximum level shit? How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about.
25,000 out to Colonia.
You have to go to Colonia with the damn.
What is it? Sensors is the only place you can get the sensors.
Yeah, I can't remember which. If it's sensors and it's
life support, lightweight life support to grade 5. I think.
I can't remember which. Like, there's two out there you can't get in the bubble. You can only go to level 4 on them in the bubble, which is
G4 for the shield cell banks in cloud.
Yeah.
3 in the bubble.
Oh, all you do is go out there once, just blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I was out there. I spent like 6 months out there. I come back and they put this shit in. You know what I'm not doing? Not fucking going back out there.
I've been to Colonia 5 times. It's not that bad.
I've actually been
in the
twice.
snow both ways.
You can
I've
hop
actually
on
been
a
twice.
carrier now and just log back on in a couple of days and you'll be out.
Or they could just patch it in and say and stop fucking over people who've been playing this game for like 7 years. They could do that too.
Well, they could just have the bubble engineers level up like the Colonia ones did.
That would be nice.
I don't know why they haven't changed that at this point in the
Yeah.
game, where every engineer can get you to grade 5 now at everything. If enough people have gone to those engineers that they would have leveled up everything that they offer to 5 by now.
Yeah. Well, so let me ask you this, since we're just tinfoil hatting here. What do we want to see them change in the key feature change that's coming up in November, December, or whatever date that they had on that stupid non-roadmap thing?
I'm in the camp. I assume that that's the engineering rework they've been talking about. Just fixing the problems. Probably most of what we just talked about.
I do too. I think that's the engineering rework.
I kind of think so too. I don't think it'll be
CQC rework, but that's
I kind of wish they would actually just go ahead and give us some of the things that we've been asking for years. Like, let us have, like the raid or the race start and finish things that we've been talking about. Give us some things, give us some toys like that we can play with.
Especially things that are already in the game. I mean, why can't we? All you have to do is take CQC power-up rings and put them out there wherever you want, or the rings from the tutorial. I don't know if you guys have ever done the tutorials.
I know it's a stretch, but I would like them in 2 sizes. You're not going to get a Type 9 through this once in the tutorial.
Well,
good point.
Yeah, but really,
cow races are a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's what canyons are for. For canyon.
Odyssey doesn't have any.
There's some decent canyons out there. When I went on my exploration. I found some pretty impressive planets, to tell you the truth.
Nothing like there used to be, which is
There's
very
some pretty
disappointing.
nice shit out there. You guys cry too much. But what if tomorrow they let us land on Earth-like worlds and go to cities and hang out?
Oh yeah.
That would be fabulous, but it's not happening.
No, and I've come to the conclusion that we're never going to see that at this point. Not in this
Yeah.
game.
I never say never with anything. That games, we've all seen how games have developed from when we first started playing shit in the 80s into the 90s, and then computer games are. Who would have thought that a game would, even run as long as Elite had, or as you put World of Warcraft earlier? Games have been running, you said 18 years? That game's been
Yes,
playing?
sir.
So
November's 18 years.
it's old enough for dubs to fuck at this point. So I think
Whoa.
Whoa, what?
That took an unexpected turn.
Bold assumption.
yes, but
Not yet. November,
He would have
not yet.
we would have got that impossible, a decade ago, even when Rourke hit 8 years old. It's like, oh my god, this game's been around 8 years, and it's still around a decade later having a new expansion. So games aren't what they used to be. They can have a hell of a long shelf life as long as you have the base code and everything else, and you incrementally make improvements, you bring people in, and you have an event like Frontier is going to have tomorrow with this game, where it's going to have this amazing whole new universe open up for us, and it's going to attract millions and millions of new players. This game could go on for a long time.
And we know we can say for certain that is their strategy with games, is to just get a game released and then make money on it over time. That one chart from one of their financial reports, I think APOC posted for us. That's exactly what it says.
Yeah.
Well, let's keep in mind okay. I'm basing this off the fact that out of all their financial reports that they posted, unless I missed one, Elite Dangerous was absent in all those financial reports that they did to the board.
That's because it's their biggest moneymaker and they didn't want to brag.
Yeah, that's it.
So I think that's a very telling thing about them as a company and where they think about this game. And I don't think we're going to see anything new or amazing for tomorrow's expansion or tomorrow's patch. I don't think they're going to do anything more with this game beyond what they're really planning to do. And whether or not we get another expansion that does anything with this game, I'll be very surprised. I'm not saying the game's dead. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that they're moving this game to a maintenance mode. And
I disagree.
Kind of similar to what what's a good example?
Star Citizen,
Pac-Man,
Blizzard and StarCraft 2. Blizzard put StarCraft 2 in maintenance mode. They're not really patching it, really doing anything with it. About once a year, they'll release a new what are they called? Company Commander or whatever, and that's it.
But StarCraft 2 is a competitive RTS, PvP game. That's kind of a different animal. That's apples and oranges.
No, but I mean, I'm using what they did there as an example. There's tons of games
that have to be put out to pasture. But
there's tons of games where the developers put them in maintenance mode and they still run servers, but they don't really do anything with it. Like they might release a little patch every now and then for performance or new video card waves or whatever the case may be, but they don't really do anything to upgrade it. Yeah. Another example is like what they did with Ultima Online until it finally died off 4 or 5 years ago. Ultima Online was basically alive for 14 years, 15 years or some shit like that. And then they put it in maintenance mode. And then like 2 or 3 years later, they're like, all right, we got to pull the plug. It's not, we're losing money here. So they pulled the plug on it. But it was in maintenance mode for X amount of years.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. I'm not ready to go down that road. As long as they make any income on it, they'll continue to, make any profit on it, they'll continue to do something with it. And if they come up with some way, because we've always said, they've got a great palette with this game. It's so big. There's so much that can be done with it if they continue to work and all of a sudden something big happens, it could bring in a lot of players, and who knows where it goes from there.
Let me ask this question. So they released the new ship kits, like the utility lights and crap like that, for 2 or 3 ships over the last couple of months or a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
What did y'all? Because I've been out for a little bit. What did y'all think about that?
I thought they looked pretty good.
Okay.
I like what they're doing with it, and to me, it looks like it might be a precursor to some more complex kind of ship kits where we could really start making our ships look different, because they added, lighting to the kits. That's the first time they've done that I know of.
Mm-hmm.
So
No, they did that in one other kit for something.
Okay, I wasn't aware of any other kit that had.
And
so
I just saw the discussion about it. I don't remember which one it was, but this is still a fairly significant development.
Yeah, and if that's the case, it could open the door for who the hell knows what. So I'll still hold some optimism that this could go somewhere. Who knows? And I've always said too, don't underestimate the disposable income of a bunch of fucking forum dads. If we're enjoying the game, we're gonna buy ship kits, we're gonna buy paint jobs. I haven't since they had pushed back Odyssey, because I dug my heels in. If they do something, if tomorrow they actually do something amazing, I'll reward them by buying a couple of ship kits.
Okay, so what are you going to do tomorrow if it's Gnosis 2.0?
I'll hog out for a couple days until servers stabilize, and I'll go back to killing Thargoids.
But are you going to buy ship kits?
No.
No. Exactly.
Well, exactly, yeah. If it's a fucking utter failure, I'm not going to reward that. I've been waiting for them to do something to give me a little bit of excitement. Hell, if CQC
no.
Maybe I'll make my first Arcs purchase in 2 years.
Well, hold on. Now, hold on. Now, you just said that Odyssey was vastly improved. So Odyssey is vastly improved. So why don't you buy a ship kit to reward them?
Because they haven't done anything big. It's been incremental things. They haven't done anything to excite me.
But we were just applauding the fact that they fixed Odyssey for us.
No. We were applauding the fact that they have made it playable. We're not going to call it fixed. It has maybe reached the level of releasable code at this point.
This is where it should have been at release.
Agreed. Actually, I would actually say, was it January, February update? That update, I would say, I would call that releasable.
Yeah.
January, February, March. I would call that releasable content at that point.
I'd agree with you on that.
Yeah, I'd agree too. But they did a lot of steps, but they effed up the delaying of it so bad, and then because I felt them taking the pre-orders with a concrete release date, then not even a few weeks later saying, oh no, we're going to push it back and consoles are going to be months after that, and then later to come back and cancel the consoles. They just their management pisses me off, and they're the ones that care about the game making money, so they need to let the developers do some shit to excite the player base, and then they'll get more money.
See, the way I kind of look at the ship kits, I kind of like they released those and they were like, let's see if this makes money. These are like high quality ship kits. Let's see how much this money makes, to see if we actually need to put this in maintenance mode, or we're just going to kill it, or we're just going to continue to develop at it. That's what I feel like they did.
Every single thing they put out, they're putting out to see how much money they can make. They're
running a company. I understand that, but what I'm saying is that there's I don't know what the number is. There's a number, an imaginary number. It's not imaginary, but there's a number that they have to generate to be able to keep the servers running, so to speak.
Yeah, more than the cost of development, by enough to put some money in the coffers. But as soon as, let's say one of those ship kits, just making up random numbers, took 5.5 hours to develop, and it cost them $1.5 million for each of those hours, or $1 million for each of those hours. So it cost them $5.5 million to develop that. And then they put them out and they only make $5.5 million. They're not going to continue to make those. But if those ship kits make $7 million, okay, we can keep making these. And that's an ongoing process. That isn't these particular ship kits. Okay, this is our test. No, it's an ongoing process. And let's say these are a complete flop, but the next thing they put out is a big success. Having the vision to make more of the shit that was a big success and less of shit that's flop is how a company sees it's a company that keeps making the shit up that ends up failing.
Right. Well, we're on the same page.
It's 101. So, but I don't know. Anybody else have anything to talk about? I think we've beaten this horse, sufficiently. And really, the more we talk now, the more that people are going to, tomorrow's going to come and they can point and say, you guys were so fucking wrong about everything. So,
Man, I hope they do.
Yeah.
I hope they
upset
do.
ourselves.
Yeah.
Operation Witch Hunt has hammered azimuth biochemicals into the two systems that they're stuck in.
Okay. What does that mean? What are the implications of that?
None.
Okay.
None.
So it's just a good tidbit.
Yeah, the players set out to do a thing, and they did it before the soft time frame of update 12, the end of the azimuth story.
Okay.
Remember the last time the players all got together and did something?
Oh, shut up. They probably put together a wolf pack. I'm gonna go. I didn't see any movie anniversaries. I think it's Dubs' turn to do a cheese. We decided earlier, right? What's your
shit.
cheese?
I don't know, the fucking bag of Fiesta Blend fucking shredded cheese.
A sphincter
Just
sizzle.
a bag of shredded cheese.
All right, bag of shredded cheese. That's
1
the
pound
show
family
title right
size.
there, by the way.
Yeah.
Way to put some effort into that.
Have you guys ever had jalapeno Cheetos?
Here,
Not-
guys.
No,
No.
Yes, I have.
no. I'm not talking about the flaming hot Cheetos,
Yeah,
just the
just jalapeno,
jalapeno.
yeah. That jalapeno flavor. Yeah.
No, those are the best ones.
They are the best Cheetos. Now, I used to like flaming hot Cheetos, but the best Cheetos are just jalapeno Cheetos.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet. I want to know. No, I need a snack. Let's see. So we did cheese. There's no movies this week. Nothing worth mentioning anyway. I did actually look. You want to tell us? You got a slogan or anything for us, Ty, to sign us off tonight?
Pray to the server gods that we can play tomorrow.
Pray to the server god.
Amen.
That's the new show title right there. Pray to the server gods.
Remember, visit
work?
our Discord.
Leave.
Discord.io/loosescrews. Loosescrews.com. Buy merch from our store.
Oh yeah, and buy stuff so Data can build more stairs to nowhere. All right. Good night,
Lumber's
everybody.
expensive.